got it right 4 times in a row. Right? Okay. Did I hear you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just being funny.
Okay, you're just being funny. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning boogie with the bull. Wednesday morning caffeine. Take your cup of your favorite caffeine wherever you are. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott Adams, who drew Dilbert for many years in newspapers and may still be doing that. And did the Scott Adams show also. I don't know if his cancer has gotten in the way of the Scott Adams show, but it is on YouTube. If you look it up, you will be able to find it. Anyway, we're live on my profile, live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, all over Facebook and everywhere else. So let's see. We are fresh from having Jen Woodruff on yesterday.
Yep.
Which was a whole lot of fun.
It was.
And, as you said, any Tuesday and Thursday, yeah, she's welcome.
Yeah, I'll reach out to her, see if she wants to be a regular on a one day or whatever out of the week.
Yep.
I think she brings a fresh look on life, and she's very giddy. She has a lot more energy than I do. Of course, she's half my age, but that could explain some of the reason why she has more energy than we do. But she also brings in a different a mindset than what we would think of certain things. So I'll reach out to her and see what she says.
Yep, and she does come in with a different mindset. We joked and laughed and talked about, and it's serious now, I guess, the Manuel Crown Vic, because her son has gone on to a mechanic with him. And that to me says, hey, I'm serious about it. I'm going to do this. And I'm really happy. I know, as I said to Jen, it's built very light. The doors are hollow. I know that. And the rest of it is lightweight, built for speed because it was a police cruiser. And they wanted to be able to go fast more than they were worried about heavy weight laying them down. But anyway, what do you got this morning? You had AI, you had human AI, you had AI.
Yeah, let's start. Excuse me. Good Lord. I can talk this morning. I haven't had my third cup of coffee yet. We all have that special pet in our life, right?
Yes.
And let's start off with sharing something light, something fresh, something different. And I think those of us who own should I say, well, those of us who own a pet, or does the pet own us? We have that dog, we have that cat, or plurals of those, and obviously the animal is dependent on us to be fed and fresh water. And of course, we don't want those messes in the house to get them outdoors to do their thing. But at the same time, we're dependent on the pet to, show love and affection and make us feel. Let me show this to you. Seeing is better than me trying to get words out this early in the morning.
Okay.
Let me show this to you here.
Fire up camera 3. That's yours. And wait a minute. I got a.
There we go. I think you get the impression. So this particular dog was a foster. I mean, not foster. He was in a home, a shelter, And this is like the first 1 or 2 days of being in this man's home. And, you know, we adopted a dog from a shelter, and Troy, he was an older dog. He was overweight, and we knew he had, a health issue. So we knew he wasn't going to be with us for long.
Mhm.
But, when you bring a pet, was a dog, a cat, snake, bird, whatever, any creature that's capable of either showing affection, giving attention, or us in reverse to them, it does something for us. I think it helps to extend our life because now we have someone that we have to live for to make sure that that individual, that pet, needs are met. And you saw the way the dog reacted to him, the way he reacted to the dog. My wife doesn't act like that when I come home from being away from work. I think I'd be a little bit scared if she did act like that. Wagging her tail and jumping up and down on the sofa. But I come home when I used to work. I come home from work. Hi, how's your this one? Okay, dinner supper be ready in a couple hours. Okay, thank you. On the other side, here's my dog jumping all over me, giving me all these kisses and warm welcomes. So where's my wife at? She'd be doing this. But so for those of us who are watching and so forth, who have a pet, I don't care what kind of pet it is, because you can all, as a human, we're able to show affection to almost anything. We see a few days, a couple weeks back, when I mentioned about the praying mantis in my living room window, I would have killed it, or at least attempted to try and kill it. But my daughter, oh, Dad, don't don't hurt it. Be gentle. Put it outside. It's like, okay, then it's a praying fucking mantis. It's not like a dog or a cat. I don't care. It's a living, breathing thing. So as humans, we can exude the emotion towards almost anything. So if you don't have a pet and you can, I would highly recommend you get yourself a pet. Start off, go to a shelter. Don't go to a pet store. Yes, they too need to be, a home, but you'll go to a pet store. A neighbor of ours has a puppy that's the exact same breed as my daughter's dog. She paid $3,000 for this puppy.
Mhm.
And, obviously she had the money to do it, but, we bought the exact same type of puppy from a different source, an Amishman, and we only paid 500.
But
Um,
that's the difference between people and different levels of people and pet stores. Uh, we adopted a full-grown Chihuahua named Chico, and the lady said this and 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 that. He came into the house, I remember, through the back door and ran right into the pad and did his business like he knew it was his own spot. Didn't mess with the cat box, just went into the pad and was a member of the family. Unfortunately, his seizing, which I don't remember if he told us. Donna can tell me, but she didn't tell us about his seizing, and he
oh, okay.
seized in the middle of the night and fell off the couch, and he did it more than once. And then it became necessary to get up and be with him while, let him know that it was okay and get it through it. And it turned out he had a heart murmur. And
Oh, wow.
We didn't bring him with us to Florida because the trip alone probably
It
would
would have been half, yeah.
have been too much stress.
Wait, did you go back against the seller for not disclosing these health
No,
issues?
It wasn't a seller.
no, it was just someone who came up to a booth and said something about
Hey,
Chihuahua.
we got a dog. You want one?
And I don't remember the conversation exactly. Donna will. And just
She needed to rehome.
she needed to rehome him,
Oh, okay.
and I was all over it. But I mean, we lived in a house that had Next door, it was a duplex. Next door, they had two beagles, and one beagle, the younger one, hated everyone, and the older beagle was okay. You know, he'd
Yeah.
play with you for a while, and then when he was done, he'd turn around and run away. And as long as he could get back up on his half of the porch, he didn't care.
Yeah, but she came to us in diapers.
Yeah, and she gave him to us in diapers, telling us that he needed to wear a diaper,
Oh,
which I think was more embarrassing for him than anything for us. Like I said, we took the diaper off of him and opened up the door, and maybe he knew where the pad was. I don't know, but he went inside and he went right to the.
well,
Pad,
if I'm not mistaken, the pads have a smell on it that attracts the dog to it, so the dog knows that's okay.
I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it did.
I'm pretty sure they do.
But it brought him. He brought him right to that spot.
That's what then the pad did his job, and he did his job.
The only we really had with him was there was a vent under my desk, and I didn't really need it for me, but he would what's the word? Use as much of it as he could, and Delilah was only like 5 pounds, and she needed to be able to use that spot too. So I was constantly turning him around and bringing her up until they both got the signal of what I was trying to do, and they would share it, or one would take it and the other one would go to another vent somewhere downstairs. Chico was a couch dog that once he laid himself up on the couch, that was his spot. So,
Yeah. So in our household, we always had, even before I got married, we always had a pet of some sort. Right now, we're maxed, to where we could have issues, but as long as no one tells us, we're fine. And my daughter has her dog and her 3 cats, and we have our 4 cats. And they all get along. They all are friends. They're what they call a pack now, so they all know their hierarchy as who's on top and who's on the bottom. And unfortunately, this absolutely beautiful cat. Every now and then she'll walk in here when I'm on the broadcast, and her name is Cora. She's absolutely beautiful colors, but she's so timid and so scared of the other cats. Especially when she's most vulnerable, which is going to the bathroom in the litter box. Okay. She'll pee like a champ in the litter box. But when it comes to, taking going number 2, I'm not sure why, but she has to go on the carpet next to the litter box. And I think I know why, because, we have 2 other cats who are like they're like different levels of height looking down at her. Right. It's okay. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Yeah, she's done. And they heave ho on her, right? It's like this poor cat, and my daughter says, Dad, I think she would be much better off being in a house, where she's the only cat. But she's not part of my life, it's and for me to, maybe I'm being selfish. But for me to say, here, Cora, I think you'd be better in a home by yourself. I would miss her. I think she would miss me. And at the same token, if the cat scenario with her pooping on the carpet but peeing in the litter box isn't that, and she goes into the other home and she continues that pattern, they may decide just to throw her outdoors or do something worse, So, I deal with it. As long as she pees in the litter box, I'm happy,
Hopefully you find someone an older person who lives alone, or maybe an older couple that doesn't go out much, and she becomes the cat of the house. Cats have that way of doing that. I think dogs do too. It's my experience that female Chihuahuas decide they're the princess, and they will go wherever they want. And then, like I said, the funniest dream was waking up in the middle of the night and feeling like there was a Rottweiler between Donna and I, trying to claim as much as she could of the bed. And that was a trademark of Delilah. She would always try to claim as much of the bed as she could, but this little, I don't know, 5 pound, maybe a foot long dog, if that, would always claim as much of the bed space as she could.
I know there. We have a friend, and all she has ever had are Chihuahuas, and those little yap yap dogs. To me, I could never have a dog that small. I mean, I mean, if you don't get a dog that small, I might as well have a cat. But moving along.
Okay.
You know, growing up, I'm sure you've seen this, but growing up as a child, of make believe, you always had your favorite cartoons, and one of mine was always about the Jetsons and living in the future, and having the robot made, and the car that flies, and the computer on the wall that does all kinds of neat stuff, uh, and wow, we have actually come to that lifestyle. We have the robots who, like I showed yesterday, that Elon Musk wants to put 2 million. I don't know why he chose 2 million into households, to walk the dog, to do the dishes, to clean the toilets, like you saw with the robot with the plunger, and so forth. So we have that now, right? We have the computers that you could actually mount on the wall if you want to, and do your thing, and you have the ability to create something from different kinds of minerals or particles, whatever you have, like Star Trek, you go up into the computer and hot tea, sugar and milk, and here's this cup, and so then we have that ability now too. So we have that ability to make shit from nothing.
Where he is, I'm sorry I cut you off, but I always do, but I apologize for it. Where I think he was he said early on, I'm bringing on these things to help you, to make your life easier. I don't know whether or not that played into a bigger, I'm going to take over your life, or these machines are going to take over your life. That part of the equation, I don't know. I do know the coolest part of the Jetsons for me was seeing the shuttle, what I want to call it, that he flew around in, fold up into a briefcase, because you wouldn't be looking for a place to park. And if you loaned it to your kids, it would fold up and they could carry it in their backpack or something, because they didn't want to carry a briefcase around. So it would be great to go play golf and do that.
Yeah. So here we go. We'll start off with this. So we have the robot that does the maid work, and walk the dog. So
there it is. Wait a minute. There it is.
So there's the flying car.
Yep.
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy. Daughter Judy.
Just like a wife. And there you go, like he said. You know. So back in the day, that was the thing. Like, holy crap, you know, that would never happen. That would never happen. What a flying car! But guess what? We do.
We have flying cars.
Okay,
We
want
have
to share
cars
this?
that fold up. I don't know. They don't fold into briefcases,
No.
as far as I know, but the wings fold up. Or
Yep. Can you share the video?
Yep. Can I what?
Share the video.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was over.
No.
Oh.
First off, obviously these flying cars were not meant for people like Dave, myself, who are very limited on a very tight budget. Look at the guy's property. Look at the guy's house. Only rich people can afford these cars. I get commercial in here.
I like that.
Well, let me. Anyways, you get the idea, and
You do get the idea, but
I can't
maybe
fast
the
forward to where it
idea
actually
is
flies, but
to,
it does fly.
okay. Maybe the idea
Obviously.
is to sell several $100,000 versions so that the company makes a couple of $1 million, and then through R&D, like Elon loves, bring the price down to.
I mean, I've seen cheaper versions of the flying cars scenario, but you know what? When you go cheap, you take your life into your own hands.
Well, not necessarily cheap is not really the word that I need, but cost effective.
Okay.
That brings it down to, but cost effective that brings it down to a price that everyday people like you and I can afford it. My only problem with it is that I trust it, and I would trust being in one, but the setup time to get it so that it can fly would be too much. And because I don't drive, we would need someone, Donna, if she wanted to do it, to, get the wings out and get the propellers out and do all of that, because I know that sitting in the car waiting for that to happen, I'm done. Only because it's 20 or 30 minutes of time that I don't want to
saw
spend.
how quickly it opened up. So it wasn't, it was only a couple of minutes, but obviously you also saw the age of the guy. So, I mean, someone our age probably wouldn't be flying a car like that either. But, it still boils down that you need to drive to either own a property that had a runway on it, or live close enough to an airport to drive your car to take off from an airport, because you still need to get up to speed to fly the plane. I think what would make it 100% a flying car is to be able to jump into it, push a button, and your engines kick in, and you can hover all up like the military has their hover planes and so forth, and then
Right.
take off.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. We have our robots, we have our computer in the hand. Actually, now you you can have it on your wrist. Where your wrist is the face of the computer. I've seen those. Excuse my God. I might live through the night for the day here, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Another story I saw was these astronauts are talking about these particles in space that they're finding, and it goes into there's no video, there's a very long good context of an article, but essentially it says that these particles are he called them the shapeshifters, as you can manipulate them and they would change shapes and they would become invisible and become visible. And he said that we have determined that these particles are coming from an intelligent being from another planet. Why they're allowing these particles to be made available to us, and I didn't read where it says where we're finding them, but if they're landing on our skin or whatever. But they're available. They're there. They're working on them. They're creating things with them. And then if at some point they'll actually break down in just pure dust, and then they'll take the dust and examine the dust to see what it's made out of, to see if we can duplicate the process of the shape shifting. But there's so much going on in our world that to sit back and just let life happen around you. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to become part of that experience. So you can talk for a while. My
Well,
throat's
you could pick up the thing with the dust in it, or you could pick up the thing and go work out, and the dust assembles into something that is your workout. Or like you said, you can pick up the thing and say cup of coffee, and it knows by your voice how to make your cup of coffee. Now we all know that I don't want that cup of coffee reasonably close to my electronics or Donna's electronics, which we're using this morning, and it's probably going to give me a warning. Make sure you keep your cup far away from Donna's Chromebook that you're using this morning. Something that may or may not bother me, but may be kind of the right thing to do. I've said at some point with the Parkinson's side, I don't know if it comes with the dementia side, but with the Parkinson's side, someday will be that day of being in our room where I don't have the power supply and I don't miss it. I just open up my Chromebook or whatever and think I'm doing a broadcast and be happy and and watch other people doing theirs and be very happy in there. I had a short career in broadcasting. I did 4 years in college, and I did 2 years in reel. And then I got fired because I fell asleep, and then I got brought back, being told that I was going to cover someone's vacation. And then at the end of the week, when they told me, "Did you like it?" I said, "No, I didn't," and that was it. So it was like 6 years. But anyway, we talk about old things we do all the time. So let's move on. You said you had human technology. You had technology, which we've covered through the car and through the robots. What was the human?
well, I forgot what that one was, but We still have the ongoing war with Ukraine and Russia. That's not going away anytime soon. Um, and again, I'm finding, reports, depending on who's doing the reporting, you tell who's side with Russia, who's side with Ukraine, because, on this side, Russia's winning, they're advancing, they're destroying cities, and on the Ukrainian side, oh, Russia just lost, a dozen tanks, you lost 1,000 soldiers, they're losing the battle, and then you have Putin threatening to attack the United States. So you can't even finish the war you started, and Putin's talking about attacking the United States and Europe. I mean, the only way he's going to do that is with nuclear missiles. Um, you know, uh, uh, Again, just to boil it down, I think that Europe and the United States needs to cut off the weapons and money going to Ukraine. That's going to grind that war to a stop. That's going to make Zelensky come to the table for real and make some type of deal. Okay, Russia. Oh my God, I hate to say this, Putin, but you have half my country under your foot. You got your tanks and your men here. You got half my country. Oh, let's just end it. You take that half. I'll keep this half here, and we'll all be. No, you don't want that. You want all of it. Well, I don't know. I mean, I tell you what. You take the country. You give me $10 billion, and I'll even leave my wife behind, and I'll go off and I'll live in this country on this yacht that I bought with the money from the United States, and we'll call it even. Does that work for you? Good. Thank you.
The only problem with that is that really the art of the deal kicks in. The art of negotiation kicks in. You have to be able to sit across the table from your adversary and say, you want this, then I'm keeping this. And you can't expect Zelensky to sit there and say, okay, you want my area where I build nukes? You want my area where I harvest stuff out of the ground that people need that supports Ukraine? No. You can have some of it. And people that are in Eastern Europe, if they want it, can have some of it. And the United States can have some of it if they want it. But, you can't take my means of wealth for the people of my nation. Well, at least that's what it's supposed to be used for. And say that, you're going to bleed us dry just because that's the only way you're going to end this war. That sends a bad signal out to other people in other nations that, this guy is only going to play to win. And if he doesn't win, what happens then?
How close do you live to, let's see, where's it at? That's Hernando County.
I honestly do not know.
The reason why I ask is an individual was recently arrested for a massive skimming operation where how the hell you can buy these things legally, but guy bought a shitload of these skimming devices that go on top of a credit card device at gas stations. And then when people are, injecting their credit card thinking they're paying for the gas, they're actually paying him. So they caught him, and he's going to spend some good time in prison. He is charged with 354 counterfeit payments, over 150 stores. He had 47,350 in cash that he gotten from that, plus a pickup truck, and and seven. So, anyways, he's you have to be careful, because if you go to pay for your, especially mostly gas stations, or even bank ATM machines nowadays, you have to be very careful. When you insert your card, make sure you're not putting it into one of those devices, And the easy way to find out is that usually the genuine ATM machine or a gas station, the credit card device is flush to the device that's attached to. These scammers are actually sit on top of, so it's going to protrude out maybe a quarter inch, half an inch, whatever. So that should be a giveaway before you insert your credit card here.
But have we moved to a world where you have to worry 24 hours a day that when a station is closed, that's what people are in doing? I mean, have we gotten to that point where you have to be paranoid about everything that you do? I mean, I don't want to be paranoid about everything we do. If we need gas, I want to go to the gas station and know that this card turns on the pump and this card, pays for the pump, and that's it. I don't want to have to worry about, are they scamming me from this card, or are they scamming me from that card, or are they just scamming me? I don't want to be I don't want to be bothered. But I mean, I know you have to be, but have we really gotten to that point where you have to be concerned? I mean, you have to be paranoid that it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think we're getting to that point, where we have to be concerned, especially, my wife, her and her Facebook. I don't know what the hell she's doing on her Facebook, but she always gets these stupid people center shit, and she got this pen dot warning. If you don't respond, within certain period of time, you're going to be. It's like she reads the bold and the warning. She doesn't read the content and to find out that it's a scam. That this person's trying to say that she has an outstanding speeding ticket. Oh, she hasn't driven in like 10 years. But somehow people were able to detect that you're old and are able to send out these whatever notices that's going to try and get you to provide access to your personal information. That's one of the nice things I like about what I do. I do genealogy. I don't need your credit card. That although that will come later in a secure email. I don't need your social security number. All I need is where you're born and what year you're born. The same for your parents. That's all I need. I don't need anything personal that's going to make someone think, well, I'm not going to give that to you. You're going to look into my information. But at the same token, folks, your life is out there. Everyone who goes online to some form of software or social media or whatever, you're providing enough information that a person with the right sophistication and software can track your ass down.
Yeah.
I mean, Google Lens, okay? Google Lens, okay? You can take a picture and go to Google Lens, attach that picture, and in microseconds, it's going to find where it is. It's going to verify it's real. It's going to verify the person is real. That's all it takes. So if you're putting your pictures of your beautiful home on look at my beautiful home, isn't it? But then you're on the other side saying, I don't want my information out there. I don't want people to know where I live. Well, you just did it by putting that picture of your house on the social media. I can take that picture of your house, go to Google Lens, and Google Lens is going to find your house.
I don't put up pictures of my family for the same reason. I have 2 grandsons and a granddaughter. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know where they are. You don't need to know, like you said, all their personal information. You just need to know that for whatever reason, I was talking about my 3 grandchildren. But, and I have Donna, my wife, my best friend, uh, who, you don't need to know all her information either. Ask her, and maybe she'll tell you. And if she doesn't, then probably you don't need to know. Uh, I don't call anymore places that don't leave a message anymore. Regardless of what area code and what prefix they use, you can make it look like you live or your office is next door to me. I don't care. If you leave me a message telling me why I need to contact you, I will contact you. If you tell me why I need to contact you and it's a quote unquote BS reason, you won't get contacted. And most of the time I'll miss your call anyway, because like I always say, we go into a doctor's appointment or we go shopping and I turn the volume down on my phone and I forget that I turned it down, and odds are I'm going to miss your call anyway, even if you do leave a message. But anyway, what else do we have, Doctor?
Well, I know it's going to be hotter than. I don't know why I get these videos, but I love them to death. I saw this one about the South. It's comical, different sayings of the South. If you're going to move to the South, a few things you know, right? And yeah, check out my Facebook profile to watch the videos. But people in the South have a way of talking differently. When you think, I don't know if you do, but I do, because I'm in the business. But when you think across our country, okay, let's just take the United States. Let's only worry about the rest of the world. Each state, the people have a unique way of talking. Yes, we all speak English. So we understand each other, okay? But each state has a little different twang to how they talk, right?
Yep.
You'll probably get something the longer you live in Florida. Look at other people on the broadcast, how they talk Southern, even though they weren't born there. They moved there and lived there long enough to pick up the twang speaking Southern. Or the unique words they have for saying something, saying something, like mayonnaise you said something different, Chester George, it's a different word for it.
My dad got me when I first moved here with PISA, PISAH, or double S. I don't know. To the point where I finally went up to one of his partners and said, he says PISA all the time. Is he pissed off? And she broke out laughing. And I said, what's so funny? She said, no, it's a good thing. It just means that he's very happy about whatever he's talking about. And I said, oh, okay, now I understand, because he would come to the coffee bar and he would look around and he would go, the place looks like PISA. And then the next day he might come and things might be all over the place, and he'd say, the place pissed me off. And I'd understand what he meant, by that. But yeah, you're right. Language is what is okay in one is not necessarily okay in the other. We joke around that the F word is not okay in most places, but I come back and say, I grew up in California, and it's sort of the same thing as shalom. It kind of means whatever you want it to mean, whenever you say it. So,
yeah, so what I was trying to get at is that, every state talks a little bit differently and has their accent and so forth. So if I were to go down south, they would know right off the bat I'm from the north, because I don't talk like that. I don't have that accent. And I feel so bad because all my clients, except for one, are from the South. And when I talk to them on the phone or through messenger voice, I love the way they talk. And, I try to, you know, I don't want to mimic them, but sometimes I find myself talking with a twang because I'm talking to them long enough. I'm starting to pick it up in my head and I'm starting to say some of the things that they're saying. So I don't want to look like I'm an imposter, trying to talk like them because I will never totally understand what they say. I mean, even when they text me in Messenger, they text the way they talk.
Yeah.
So here I am reading this text and like scratch my head like, what is he trying to say to me? And I'm reading it, and I said, "Clint, come here a second. Can you read that and tell me what he's trying to say?" Well, I don't know what he's trying to say, Randy. I'll have to reach out and say, I'm so sorry. So, I love the way you talk. I really do. I love your accent. But can you tell me what the hell you're trying to say here?
You do have to do that because Dad used to type "could" as CUD, and other people do that too. But from what I learned in talking to people, is some people don't worry about vowels; they just type a word as the way they think it should be. But yeah, I will start saying, "Welcome to Boogie with the Bull. Y'all are gonna listen to Randy Rhodes, Colonel Randy Rhodes."
Yeah. It's sort of like, an individual started me on creating my song about Colonel Randall Rhodes. Now I won't say the name, but he created it initially and he sent it to me. And when he said, if, I guess he took my name from my Facebook page, COL Randall Rhodes, okay, and didn't realize that the COL was an abbreviation for Colonel. So when he created the lyrics for the song, he typed in COL Randall Rhodes. So of course the song says, it starts going off and starts singing, and then it goes Cole Randall Rhodes. Da, 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 da. That's not going to work. Cole Randall Rhodes. So what I did was I took the lyrics that this individual wrote because I liked them, and I redid the song and I typed out Colonel. So now the song sings Colonel Randall Rhodes. But I'm still getting some hit back on the my making use of that rank. So I did reach out to the general of the group of the Carolina Grey Ghosts, and I told him that there were some concerns, and he said, Randy said, he himself doesn't put general in his Facebook profile. People know he's a general, but he doesn't have it as part of his name. He said, what I do is up to me. So I figured, I'm going to, remove the colonel part because everyone knows who I am anyways. But to change it, I have to go through like 4 different steps. And one of the steps, for whatever stupid ass reason, is to log into my Instagram account. And guess what? I don't know my password.
You can get it back. The forget your password.
Yeah, I know.
If you click that, makes you change it, which is unfortunate. It should give you hints that make you remember what it is, but they don't do that. Especially because if you link your Facebook, Threads, and Instagram account, Meta really does not want someone to quote unquote hack you and have access to be you everywhere you are. So they actually do protect you, is the words that
I understand. But one of the things I'm going to spend a little bit, not a lot. Now I have 7 clients, so my calendar is full.
Okay.
But I'm going to spend a little bit of time today trying to undo some of the things that I have put in place, like the two-way protection. What is two-way? No, where it makes
Yeah.
where if you sign in, you have to log in your password, then it sends you a text. You have to go to your text, or you go to email. I mean, it may sound silly, but I don't have that 10 seconds. At least in my mind, I don't have that 10 seconds to go through all the damn steps of being password protected to to get to where I want to be. I want to get to where I want to be. I want to get there now, right?
Right. Most people don't, and they didn't. I, speaking as me, someone who's been here for 16 years of 43 years of being on the internet, it doesn't do anything except get me mad in most cases that it decides to pick a device of mine that's on my desk, but it's turned off. So I have to turn that device on. I have to tell it to open up Facebook, wait for it to get the same thing you said that sends it to another device to approve it, to get in there. And by then I've timed out whatever I'm trying to get on to do. Just let me get on and do what I need to do. Like you just, that way.
That's like, when I want to go to my email, right? I'll go, gmail.com, right? And so, okay, then it goes to what I have a couple of different emails.
Right.
So I'll ask you which one. So I typed in the one password, I type in the password. And then it goes to, we have to verify it's you, and then I have to find, I don't know how it got set up. They got set up that this is the only device where I have to go in here, go into my email and say, is it you? Yeah, it's me. And I click, yeah, it's me. I don't know how it got set up to where this is. So if my daughter, my wife is making use of this iPad, I got to run downstairs to grab it so I can answer yes, so I can get into my damn email.
Or put your email on your iPad.
Well, it is, but unfortunately, I have so many things going on that I
understand what you're saying.
This my head going in 10 different directions. But anyways, I need to get going here. It's almost an hour. But folks, say what you will, but you have to take life one day at a time. Enjoy what you have today, because no one is guaranteed tomorrow, right? We are now in the whatever comes out of our mouth segment. Ken, welcome to Boogie the Bull. Okay. So
we're talking about tsunamis.
We could. Supposedly there's one coming that's supposed to hit Hawaii, so people are getting the hell out of Hawaii. I did see a quick news article. I didn't have a chance to peruse it, but someone's accusing Oprah of preventing them from leaving. She's blocking them somehow. So I saw that, but I didn't read the context of what she was trying to say. But once again, here we have wealthy people who own land. If the tsunami actually hits, we'll see the same scenario we did with all those fires. The rich people are going to buy up what's left of your house, and they're going to enjoy life a lot better than you are. It's the world we live in, folks. But again, I guess it's because of the job I have with genealogy, dealing with dead people. I'm always looking at dead things. Or I'm trying to find more information about dead people, and my newsreel feed, my computer say he likes things about dead people. Let's hear about these dead people. But the other day I saw this, and you have to take a little bit for a grain of salt. But someone took a video of this car crash, and here's this ambulance, and they just loaded up the body of the person who was in this horrific car accident, and he died while he was in the ambulance. And here, supposedly, the video has this image of the spirit of the guy who just died, standing there, like looking into the ambulance, like what the hell happened? Why? And he's kind of looking around. I do believe, and I have personal experience. I said it before with life after death experiences. Um, you know, so folks, if you have, if you live by yourself, but you have kids or still living, have parents still living, reach out to them somehow, either by phone, by a letter, a postcard, a text or whatever. Reach out to your loved ones, tell them how much you love them, and hey, stop by sometime for a cup of coffee. We'll talk about old times or something like that. Or if you have people who live with you right now, my wife and I every morning we will say something to the effect that, "When was the last time I told I love you, Claudette?" "Oh, yesterday." "Yeah, well, I told her I love you, Claudette." "Well, I love you too, Randy." And stuff like that. Let people know that you think of them, because you never know when they might not be with you or you might not be with them. Um, and I guess I'm this way a lot because I deal with genealogy. I deal with dead people, right? And uh, when you know people think that you know uh, their lives are private and no one can find out about them. No, not true. I'm proof of that. I can find out all kinds of shit about people who are still living, because people don't realize, I don't want, and it's so sad, when I go to find the grave, to find information about where a person is buried, right?
Mhm.
And uh, I always, especially with women, because they, when they get married, they take on the man's name, and if they get married twice, they take on that man's name. So what I do is I go, let's say use my wife as an example, Claudette Moore Rhodes, okay, Moore being her maiden name, Rhodes being a married name. Okay, so if I wanted to find her, God forbid, on Find a Grave, I'll type in Claudette Moore Rhodes, and that finds her. And if she, got married, let's say I died first and she remarried, she'll take on the other guy's name, right? So if she really loved the guy, and the family knew that when she died, they put in there Claudette Moore Rhodes Stewart, her second husband's name, right? Because that way it just shows that she was married twice and she loved both men. But what I'm trying to get to is that you can tell a family how they feel about you if your name's not included in that obituary, right? Oh, smack him. We didn't like him. He I don't know why mom married him, but we don't. So we're not going to add his name onto the obituary. Something like that. So. So it's funny, and I laugh. I love what I do. I love the challenge of trying to find people. What I'm trying to say is, here is we don't know when it's our time. I can wake up dead one day, right? Wake up dead. You get that? Okay.
I hope not. Then I'd have to find a new co-host.
But no, I'll still be. I'll just be like this shimmery image, and I'll try to touch the microphone. My hand goes through it. But no. But you don't know, and folks, if you have a family member who's in the military, active duty, please make a special attempt to reach out to them, because in today's world, you never know when, they might be deployed to active duty. And as well as what I've seen it happening, they go on to training missions where they're training on something new. That they could get hurt. I mean, there was one with a plane, a fighter jet pilot was training, and his plane crashed. And he died. So we never know when our time is up. So if you know someone or have someone, please reach out to them. Tell them how you feel. Hopefully, you like the person. I mean, obviously, if you hate the person, don't reach out to them. Like, I hate you. I just want to let you know that I called today to tell you how much I hate you.
Okay, well, today I want you to tell them about what's happening Thursday night at 7 o'clock.
So Thursday, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, will be joining me for a special broadcast about sex slavery in the United States. As our guest, who was trafficked, we have Suzanne Arcado. She'll be telling us her story about her personal experience. She will be on a telephone telling a story because she doesn't want her. Because she indicates that these people are still trying to find her so they can shut her up because she's telling the story about what happened. So I'll have a static image of her on the screen so you can see what she looks like, but she'll be talking to us via the phone. Please, if you have any interest in that topic, or you yourself are trafficked and you want to become part of the show, please let me know ahead of time, like today, so I can take down your name and be able to send you a link to be a part of the show. Again, if you are a victim and don't want your actual face on the screen, you can call in on the phone, and I'll provide you the phone number that I have, and you can call in and be at least a voice and maybe give me a picture of you so we can have that as well. But that this Thursday is going to be about sex slavery in the United States. Suzanne Arcado is the victim. Jim Woodruff knows her and can vouch for her authenticity, and she'll be doing the question and answering. Me, I'll be sitting back to do my work and my magic. Next Tuesday at 7 p.m., Jim Woodruff will be joining me again with Morris Myers. He is going to be. He is a descendant of a slave from the war between the North and the South. His second great grandfather was a slave. I have information about him, as well as his third great grandmother was a slave. So we'll be talking about that experience, how he feels about it, being a black man in the Confederate uniform. This guy supports the Confederacy. He has the Confederate flag, in his front yard. And why, even as a black man who is a descendant of a slave, why he supports the South. So he'll be joining us as well Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to be part of that show, please reach out to me, and I'll send you a link, and you can become part of that show. Other than that, those are my first two of my own shows that are happening. There'll be more to come. I think that's it. As far as my genealogy, I am booked.
Okay.
Up to here. I can't take on any more. I do need to get some sleep. So I picked up two yesterday. They're cousins, and they absolutely are happy with what I've been finding for them so far. I think that's it.
Okay.
And of course, Friday with Dave Glovin on Boogie the Bow for the Red Shirt Friday.
Red Shirt Friday, every Friday.
Yep. If you don't know what Red Shirt Friday is, tune in on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern to find out what Red Shirt Friday is.
That's segment one. Then we go into news of the day and politics, and then whatever comes out of our mouths.
Yeah, which is usually pretty good. So Kim Clemens, I've never seen him before. Same for Denise, and I am not going to try and pronounce that last name, but I don't want to butcher it. How did Kim and Denise come to know us?
Mama D, who is Denise, because most people can't pronounce her last name, and I don't want to try to pronounce it because I'm sure I will butcher it really bad. But Mama D came from watching William Rayfield, who was on with us a few times, and I've been on with him a few times, and that's where she came. I don't know where Kim Clemens came from. Kim is new, so she's new.
So, Kim, which show do you want the links to? Do you want it for the sex slavery or the slavery from the South? I'm going to write down your information so I don't forget. Kim Clemens.
The best thing to do is to contact Randy through Messenger, the Colonel COL Randall Rhodes account, and let him know which links you are looking for, which links you want to be a part of, so he can question you and make sure that everybody is all set up with everybody who will be on. So message Randy for those. But for a normal Boogie with the Bull on a Tuesday or Thursday, all you got to do is come into the live chat and ask for the link. And if you've been good and we've been good, then yeah, we'll bring you on. And who knows? We may add you.
So Kim lives in Florida. She said, I received an invitation to join Conspiracy, and I found your post.
Oh, okay. Yeah, conspiracy truths and videos, and I can't remember the rest. But anyway, Mark Samuels made me an admin a long time ago, and off and on I do some stuff in there, stay out of people's way, and just do some things that need to be done. But I'm glad you're here, Kim.
Yep, and I'll be looking forward to your messages, your messenger messages, and then I'll send you. So, do you want the links to both shows or just one show, or we'll talk about that later in Messenger?
Yeah.
And
okay. Yeah, I don't want to make you late, boss.
Yeah, it ain't like I got to drive to where I work. This is my office where I'm at now. Actually, I got 2 offices now. My wife's going to start helping me with the secretarial work, so I got to start teaching her some things so she does it correctly. What she's going to be doing for me, besides keeping track of who's payment to me. Can you believe I actually forget to send out invoices?
Well, that's actually cool. That's another thing we can talk about at another time.
Yep. So, anyways, I gotta get going. Dave,
you want me to do it?
I would do that way. I actually walked away one time, didn't turn my camera off.
Well, do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
I'll do it. See ya.
Okay. All right. I always joke about that. I used to call it putting on a parachute. I would tell people to put on a parachute because it was the end of their portion of a broadcast, but not always the most polite. But then again, the whole idea came from something that wasn't polite that we can talk about another time. But Boogie with Bull, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Adjust yourself accordingly. 7 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless Randy is using the time for something that needs to have the time. In my research with Facebook, yes, and I actually did do research and talked to them, 7 p.m. Tuesday was the best time. Another place, Streetlock, STREETLOC.com, told me that Tuesday and Thursday was the best time. So we use both. And I hope you're happy. If you're not and you can't get it live, then watch it on a rerun wherever you can, or message me and you can get it sent to you on Messenger if you want. And if you don't want it on Messenger anymore, you can tell me and you won't get it on Messenger anymore. Anyway, my wife says that I often spend the entire length of the broadcast doing the closing of the broadcast. So I'm going to close the broadcast and hand her Chromebook back and go on with the rest of the world. You can reach me on Messenger. You can reach me on Facebook and a bunch of groups, and it goes from there. Anyway, it's been fun. Our next one today is Wednesday. We won't do Thursday. So our next one will be Red Shirt Friday. Anyway, have fun for the rest of your day and make it a fabulous weekend anyway, because I can tell you that right now, because I feel like telling you that right now. We'll hit this one. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end.